Okay, hey class. So I'm gonna just do a quick review of what I'm expecting for your WeVideo portion of this assignment, right? We're doing our camera shots and movement, storyboard and video challenge. And remember in this, the challenge is just to develop a storyboard and produce a short video that showcases your knowledge of basic camera angles and shots, right? So um, we've learned how to make the storyboard, right? So we have everything filled out. This has been approved by me. If you weren't able to get me to approve it today while I'm away, you can just go ahead and work on it, and I'm going to look back and make sure you've done this correctly, okay? Because I want you to keep moving forward while I'm away. Remember, these are all the shots we're covering in our video. If you need to watch the video again, what we're mimicking, we can go ahead and watch it here, right? But the goal today in using WeVideo is really to just showcase all these shots. We're not getting marked on how creative we are, how our transitions are working, how the text is coming in, right? I just want to see the shots. I want to see that you've added audio. The audio is consistent through the whole video, and we're telling a story with our specific shots and angles and the video that goes along with it. So if we want to go into WeVideo, we just go to wevideo.com. You'll have to log in. You can use your student UG Cloud email, and you're going to get in here. And then we can just go ahead and create a new project, right? So if we do that, create, we can go ahead and call it, let's just call it camera shots and movement. I'm just going to copy that. There we go. And it's a very simple program here, right? This is just getting us ready so we can start using some Adobe audio software. But for now, we are just going to use WeVideo to get started, right? To keep it simple. So we'll just go to Add Media. And I've already done a bunch of recordings and uploaded them to a folder, right? So after you've filmed everything, you'll just upload those to your computer, put them in a film folder or something where you can access them. We'll upload. So I have mine all right here. So this isn't going to be a full film, but I've done kind of the first chunk. So there we go. I've added it. I got my Indiana Jones in here with some shots. So those are all sitting in. So now, see, they're all different times, right? I wanted a 5-second clip. So you'll notice they're all over 5 seconds because I can edit them down to 5 seconds. So now I want to add some more media. I want to add the audio I found. So where I found the audio, I want some Indiana Jones music. So I'm going to go to pixelbay.com. I'll leave a link for you guys. And I just typed in Indiana Jones music, and I was lucky enough to find some stuff. So I went and downloaded it. So, you can go through here and find a bunch of royalty-free music, audio. It might not be exactly what you want, so sometimes you have to work around that, but this is a great starting spot, okay? And if you want to find some more music, you'll have to, just Google some free music. You can do your own music, or if you have other MP3s you can use, right? We don't need to worry about royalties because this is just a class assignment, right? We're not selling this. So I'm going to upload, browse to select. I do not have the audio in there. Where did I leave it? I believe I left it in my downloads. There it is, the Lost Ark. There we go, now I got my audio. It's 2 minutes of audio, so this will work. Now that I've got all that, it's as simple as dragging and dropping these down. So for the audio, this is going to be in the whole thing. So I'm going to start with that, actually. I'm going to bring this down into my audio layer. We're going to go and call this, right? Like in Photoshop, we're layering, we're naming layers properly. I'm going to call this theme music. And there's only going to be one audio file in this, so it's pretty straightforward. But if we were to add different things, more descriptions would be in this, right? I would put like Indiana Jones theme music. If there was something else, it would be voiceover. And you can add layers to keep it organized. But for this, we'll just do this. For text, I think we'll just call this one titles, because that's all it's really going to be. We'll have the intro title, and we'll have our titles on each frame as they go into different shots, so that's fine. Video, we'll just call that video. It's only going to be one. Or we could call it video clips, something so it makes sense, okay? We could even say titles, text, so we understand what that is. So now it's nice and organized, okay? Let's bring in the first video clip. So I'm going to do what is our first one? We'll go to the website here and see what our first shot is. Extreme long shot. I'm just going to copy that because I'm going to use it. And now we're in here. Right, so I'm going to bring in that extreme long shot. I'll just drag it down. Right. Now we can zoom in and out if you go over to this. Make it easier to play with, right? 5% is probably good. And then if I click on here, right, we have some other editing and stuff. We don't need to touch any of this. So that's done. I can drag this and see the time on there. I can just get that right to 5 seconds. Perfect. Now I will need a title frame, so let's go ahead and add some title stuff. So we'll just go to text, very simple stuff. We're just going to use a simple captions. We don't need to do anything special here, okay? There are different options in here. You could do transparent stuff. These are all locked, right? So there's a bunch of things. I'm just going to do something simple. Well, retro might be kind of cool. Let's just do retro. So I'm going to drag this down. You'll notice this is longer, right, than 5 seconds. But that's okay for now. We're going to click into it. And we're going to call this what the assignment's called. So let's just do this. I'm going to show you a couple things, some easy edits. So we have everything in there. I'm going to make this a little bit smaller here. So let's take the title. We'll just highlight that. We can change the size. There we go. So let's maybe do it to like 72. That's a little small, so maybe we'll make it $1.25. And then we'll make the bottom maybe 100. There we go. Now we got a little retro kind of Indiana Jones look there. That kind of works. We can do a quick animation on this. You have your start position and your end position. So your start position, let's make it a little smaller. End position is 1, so your start position is 0.8, let's say. Our end position is going to be 1. Perfect. Now you're seeing this background is different because of the video we're seeing through there, but we're going to change that after. Okay, so that's good. I'll hit done. Okay, now we're going to move this down to, how long did we want this? 5 seconds, right? So we'll make that 5 seconds. But, for these ones, it doesn't matter, right? 5 seconds is a long time just for a title, right? So I think I'm going to make that 2 seconds. I did say I want 5 seconds for each shot, right? That is just for all our clip shots, right? So I think 2 seconds is enough. Like 1, 2, that should be good. So 2 seconds. And then we just drag this over right to the edge. And there we go. Okay, now if you were to hit play from the start, we could break this back. You're going to see a little animation, some sound, and there's my first shot, okay? So we need to add some text over this first shot, right? So if I want to go ahead and do that, I can just go into text. And I think for this one, we don't want to keep using that retro, do we? Probably just some simple text this time, right? So I'll just go to the sample. And those are titles, so we can just actually go into captions, right? And we'll do this so we can make sure we can read it. We can have a background color because the shots will change. So I will click on that, drag this down. We want it to start right at the beginning of the clip. Perfect. Name, description. So let's click into this and see what we can do in there. So we could call this one for our first shot, extreme long shot. We'll copy that. I'm just going to paste it in there, extreme long shot. What was that font we were using? Let's use something a little cooler. Probably like bitter. And it doesn't matter, guys. You notice how something went weird with that text. So when I pasted that in, something happened. So I might just have to retype it. go. We can, to keep this consistent through the whole film, we can leave these the same size. You know, we could center this, we can make these smaller, but it might look better if they look similar each time, so we'll do that. Let's change that background color to kind of have that orange color to go with the theme maybe, or brown or something. That maybe looks a little better for the Indiana Jones color. Sure, that works, right? That would be making it transparent, but there we go. Extreme long shot. You know, we could center this if we wanted to. Right, so each shot will come in like that. And that's good. If we wanted to animate that, we could. I think we'll just leave it for these ones, so it's with the frame. We want this to go the length of the frame there, right? So we'll just let it start. Okay, now let's add our next video clip. So we'll go back down to our uploads. And what is our next one here? Let's see, they're not in order for me. We did the extreme long shot. Now here's the next one. Go in there, make sure it's 5 seconds. Perfect, 5 seconds. And we can add audio again. So this time we could actually just copy this, right? I'm just gonna go Command C. Bring that up to the next frame there. Command V, cannot be placed. Copy, paste. I guess that does not work unless I'm in the area. There we go. I just was overlapping. So that'll go right tight to it and it'll click into place. This one is a different shot, right? So we can call this the next shot, the long shot, right? So for that, I can just actually delete the extreme. Still in the middle, long shot, okay, and that's not the right shot. We're gonna change that. Oh, there it is actually. So now we have our extreme long shot, our long shot. We see the different text over top, okay. So now let's see how it plays here. We'll go back to the beginning, hit play. Music still playing. So that's really it, guys. And then if we wanted to add a transition in here, you know, you could fade these together. Let's say we wanted to add a transition between the text. I think I kind of like how it just goes and clips right over for these. That's okay. If you wanted to add a transition in here, you just hit that plus there, go transition. It's got a bit of a crossfade. Let's see what that does. We can just watch it to see how it works, right? Kind of faded it. I don't know if you really need that. I don't think that really works well in this case. You could probably leave it out, but let's see what else we got. Blur, zoom, dissolve, dip to black, dip to white, burn, mosaic, slide, right? And in this case, you might actually want to make a bit of room between these so it actually stops away. Let's see how this works now. We'll just slide this transition over. We'll get rid of that. We're gonna add a new one. Let's see what happens now. So this is going to be a little bit of trial and error here. I don't know if this one's going to work. There we go. So it transitioned out by breaking away, and then a new one kind of faded in, right? So if that was the case, can we add another transition in here? We can also pick them up here as well, right? So I would say we'd want to keep them the same. What was this one called? Crossfade. So let's do another crossfade here. We'll add this to the end of that. There we go. Now they're bumped together. just a small transition, so you can play with some of those. Again, I'm not really marking you on those things there, okay? I just really want to make sure that we've learned how to do these shots. We've got every single shot. We've added some audio, right? So don't stress over that and making all these transitions. You could literally just do all these text audio without the transitions, okay? But if you want to play with it and you have more time to do it, go ahead and do that, right? And that's it. When we're done, we're just going to hit export, right? We'll call it something, export it as an MP4 video, okay? Standard, I don't need this to be too big. And then you're just going to export it. You know, you're going to save it. While it's thinking here, we'll save it with our first name and last name, and then we'll be able to hand this into the classroom. So it's just thinking away here. And there we go. Now we have our little video, so I can view it now when it's ready. And you'll see all your other projects in here, okay? All right, so that's it, guys.